Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to make red pepper hummus with an immersion blender. So we're just starting out with a can of chickpeas, and in this video I drained out the aquafaba, but I didn't rinse them, which sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And if I don't rinse the aquafaba off, it makes it a little runnier. You need a really tall glass jar for this. It works better for an immersion blender if it's taller. And then here I'm going to be weighing my roasted red peppers. So I tare my scale after putting my cup of chickpeas on it, and I set the units to ounces, not fluid ounces, And then I'm getting it to 8 ounces with all of these red bell peppers here. And another thing that to kind of bear in mind here is a lot of the red pepper juice is kind of getting into my hummus, which is another thing that will lead it to be kind of runny. So the hummus calls for 2 tablespoons of aquafaba, and I didn't put that in there. So the tahini, depending on where you're getting your tahini from, you might need to mix it up. Mine had been sitting in the cupboard for just a couple weeks, so I am mixing it here to incorporate the oil with the rest of the seed butter. And then I have a 1/4 cup measure and just dumping that in there, making sure to get to the top. And then I just scrape that into my jar with the red peppers and the chickpeas. And once I've done that, I put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And now I'm going to do the lemon. So the way I do lemons might be a little unique. I don't like dealing with the seeds of a lemon. Some people will juice them, just cut them in half and juice it into their hand. I like to cut the lemon around the edges so that all I have to do is squeeze it in. I don't have to try and catch seeds or anything. And then I like to grab a fork and just get the rest of the juice in. But you're also more than welcome to just cut your lemon in half and take a fork to it and either fish the lemon seeds out afterwards or do it in a different container. However you want to do that, doesn't matter. Just get the juice of 1 lemon in there. I also don't like my hummus super lemony, so I kind of miss out on a little juice. Then for the garlic, lots of times I can just bend garlic in half and get that peel off, but sometimes it will just break, so I smushed it with my knife. Then I'm taking 1/2 teaspoon of cumin and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So once all my ingredients are in there, I can get out my immersion blender. So my immersion blender, in order to use it, you have to press the unlock and on button at the exact same time. And then I like to start on low just to make sure it's not going to be too crazy on me. And then I ended up switching it to high once I realized it wasn't going to sputter everywhere. And on high, I just go through and I blend this, and I kind of move it up and down to make sure I'm incorporating all of the ingredients. And I just keep doing that until I get the smoothness that I wanted. And as you can see, just from the leftover aquafaba and my chickpeas and a little bit of the juice from the red bell peppers, my hummus was pretty runny. And since I'm the only one that's eating this, I tested it with my finger, but when you're making this in the group, make sure you're using a taste testing spoon, a clean one. And then once it's to the consistency that you want and as smooth as you like, you can plate up, divide your hummus into quarters for your group, and you can put your vegetables onto your platter. But before you do that, we're going to brunoise a piece of red bell pepper. So these strips are very small, and I'm just trying to get it into 1/8 inch strips so that I can then turn it into 1/8 inch slices. And that will just add a really nice little garnish and a little bit extra red bell pepper flavor onto my hummus. Looks nice, kind of like the store-bought kind. And I added a tiny pinch of cumin just to be a little extra. It looks nice. It did add a little bit stronger cumin flavor afterwards, so if you don't really love cumin, maybe don't do that. And I did a drizzle of olive oil, and then I'm putting some of my veggies on. You'll have a couple more than this, but just to kind of show you how you can lay that out. And I'm also putting on my pretend jicama, aka an apple, but I didn't have jicama, but you'll have jicama. And a 1/4 piece of pita bread, and you can then enjoy.